Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Rob Lowry, and I want to welcome you to Empower716. Listen, I am so excited about this episode because, listen, we're about to get motivated crazy today. I have in the building the one and only RaQuel Hall, Ms.Motivation herself. What's up, RaQuel?
Hi. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here, and I just want to say happy belated birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate you. So we're gonna share real quick and make sure that everybody knows about hear all the information on
Yes.
you. So make sure I get on here. We're gonna have you share.
Let me see. So we can let everybody know we are here. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm waiting for you to put it on yours, right?
Yeah. Let me see how I'm gonna do this.
Or is it on your IRL experience one?
RL experience.
Let me click it on there then. Let's see.
So make sure if you are watching on LinkedIn, make sure you're gonna ask some questions for RaQuel. RaQuel. So as we get started, I want to talk. My first question for you. I got so much questions for you because when I was researching you, I was like, okay, she's a CEO of Motivation Moments. She does life insurance. She does real estate. You have your bartending services and so much more. So I want to start. My first question for you is, who is RaQuel Hall?
Oh, so man, um, a mother, um, a motivator, a person who's been through a lot but does not show it. A resilient person, a person who doesn't let anything or anyone break me. That is like one of the things I'm telling you. That kind of gives me chills when I say that.
Wow.
Actually, because that is something that I've been through a lot, and I don't show it. I don't. I would have to say a person who loves, a person who wants to help the world. If I could, you know what I'm saying, I would really help the world. Someone that God is like has put me through some things
Yeah.
just to get me through. So I would honestly have to say I'm just a resilient person. I'm you. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
them. You know what I'm saying? I am just like everybody else. I'm just someone who just, regardless, does not give up.
Wow. So I want to go backwards a little bit about. Tell me, are you from Buffalo? Kind of give me some insight about your growth and some of like where you started from.
Well, I am born and raised here.
Okay.
Have never left here. I love Buffalo. I know a lot of people have something to say about Buffalo, but I
Right.
love them. I mean, I plan on, moving to different places, but my home is always going to be here. So I love Buffalo. So this is where I'm from. What else you say? You said
Kind of like where. So you from Buffalo, and I guess what led you into like your career path that you're in now.
which career?
So what was kind of like the turning point that you wanted to like go on your own and start a business? Kind of like that point of like I want to do this.
That's crazy. I've always been an entrepreneur my
Okay.
whole life.
So when
Like
did you start?
when I was 10.
Wow.
That sounds crazy. Everybody like, what? I started my own babysitting company when I was 10 years old. 10. I had
Really?
5 different families that they trusted me at 10. It ain't like it now, but then 10 years old, and I kept it going until I was like, I want to say good 16.
Wow.
Like I kept that babysitting because I didn't have to get a job. You know what I'm saying? I was getting paid pretty good.
Now where did
But
you get that entrepreneurial spirit from? Like is somebody in your family that you watch? Like
definitely my grandmother.
okay.
She is amazing. She actually had her own hair salon. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? She started working out of a hair salon, at a young age. And then her and her sister started their own hair salon. And then my grandmother started her own. But she built a whole hair salon in her own basement.
Wow.
So it was like a nice salon, like somewhere where you could really see yourself coming to on a
That's
regular
dope.
basis. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day with the hot comb and the curlers.
Hot
and
comb.
thank you. Back then with the pressing curls, you know what I'm saying? So she definitely, and honestly, I knew I had it in me because I always felt like I always to me superseded my bosses. Like I
Wow.
felt like it mattered wherever I worked, I went above and beyond. You know what I'm saying? Working for other people, and I used to be like, you know what? I can't work harder than they work. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I'm never moving up. So I always tell people, like, if you gonna work this hard, imagine how you can work for your
For
own
yourself,
self. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So they always say, if you work for somebody, you're gonna build their dreams. But if
Okay.
you work for yourself, you build your own. So that's
And
how I
did you
always feel.
have so after the babysitting thing, did you have what other things that you started getting into? Was it did you go to formal schooling to kind of get knowledge, or was it more experience?
No,
Okay.
listen, I went to college for business. I went to UB for business, but so I kind of always knew my path was gonna be business, me doing a business. I just didn't know what.
Yeah.
Like I never knew what business. I was one of those kids that I was making up stuff. Like, well, you know what? If a person can make up Post-its, what if I make up something? You know what I'm saying? I used to be in the house trying to make up stuff that I'd be like, oh man, they already came out with that. Dang. Like I was one of them kids. Like I used to, you know, the I know you probably don't know because you're a man, but the bottles that people put in their mouths, right? The baby bottles, and they don't want to hold them. So it has like a long cord kind of from the bottle. So the bottle can sit on the, I know you're like, what the heck is that?
What the heck is that?
But what I was gonna say is, I literally said this makes sense. We should have something where the baby could just suck it like a pacifier,
Yeah.
but it'll have a tube coming out of it, and it could be laying. I said we should do something like that. Do you know? Years later, it came out, and I said,
Don't you have that when you said you have an idea and you're like, oh, I should have like acted on it?
right. That's why I always tell people: if you got an idea, don't play.
Yeah.
Go jump.
Yeah, jump on it.
Leap. Because let me tell you, somebody else, and let me tell you, that is doing wonderful right now. Because kids don't want to hold. Nobody want to sit there and hold a baby's bottle.
Baby bottle.
We trying to cook. We trying to do all kind of stuff. We don't got time for that. So that's big for me. But other than that, no, I didn't really know where I was gonna go. I was just one of those people that I just knew I love money.
Okay.
I knew that whatever was gonna happen, I was definitely gonna be a millionaire. I was definitely gonna be somebody that someone could look up to, even my son and, you know, my brothers and sisters. I always wanted to make, like, on top of making myself proud, I always wanted to, you know what I'm saying, make others proud. So I used to be like, well, what can I do? And that's one thing I always said. I never knew. You ever say to yourself, like, what am I here for?
Yep.
You know, like,
Trying
I
to
don't
figure out
know
what your purpose is.
my
like,
purpose is. Yeah. And I used to be like, okay, I'm a bartender. Okay, I'm a life insurance agent. Okay, I'm a mother. Okay. But it's something that I'm missing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I always knew it was something. I just didn't know what it was. I used to be like, man, when I die, what is everybody going to remember me as? Just being nice to people or just helping people? But that's it. Like, it got to be a purpose. And I used to ask God all the time, God, what is it that you made me for? And I never knew what it was. And I think it was because he was grooming me the whole time, putting me through those ups and downs to see if I was going to be able to handle this big thing. Because, you know, he already knows our purpose when we born. He knows what we're going to be.
We just trying to figure it out.
We just trying to figure it out. Exactly. And sometimes we mess up that path because he's steering us in this path and then we decide to go our own way instead of going the way that we're supposed to. So I think in the whole time he's trying to give me hurdles and knocking me down to see, is you going to get back up? And I have to say, honestly, that's why it doesn't matter. Nobody else is proud of me. I'm so proud of myself because I've been through so much and I'm still here. I'm a motivational speaker. Like, through all of that, some people would be somewhere crawled up on a bed crying with their thumb in their mouth. But
let me ask you, what? So you're celebrating 5 years of Party on the Rocks.
Pretty Girls
on the Rocks. Okay,
Yep.
got it right. Pretty Girls on the Rocks. Was that your first business besides the babysitting? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to kind of like walk through your mindset of like, when did you say, okay, this is something I got to put my heart into it because it's, you know, as far as were you a bartender before that?
Yep.
Okay.
I've been a bartender 22 years.
Okay. So now I'm going to make this a business and starting off from like scratch. Like, what was your mindset? Like, I got to make this work. Like, where did that come from?
Well, honestly, I have to say, you know, I don't know if she's watching right now, but my hairdresser that her name is Christina Bishop. One day, everybody was hiring me for events.
Yeah.
But I'm only one person. You know, so I started getting double and triple booked. And I was like, wait a second, I can't do this all. And one day she said to me at her event, like, you know, everybody wants you for the 16th. It was something like that date or something. And I was like, man, I can't do everybody's 16th. She's like, you know, hire people and then have it. And I was like, you're right. But then I was like, I don't know, what would it be called or what is that? Like, can you even do this? I didn't know the laws. I didn't know nothing because it never hit me. I literally, this is definitely going to help you people who are trying to be entrepreneurs. I started that business in 30 days and did everything. In 30 days, I went home, I researched what is a mobile bartender? What is a traveling bartender? What is what do you even do? Like, what is the concept of it? How does it work? What can New York State do? You know? So I went and Googled it, called my brothers and sisters, and we sat on the phone. I told them they had one day to get me a name. They was like,
Wow.
what? I was like, one day, I need you to help me. I don't know what the name gonna be. And one day we sat on the phone. The next day they had to go home. They had to think about it. We all got together the next day. They shot me a ton of names. I
Mm.
came up. They gave me the name. I love Pretty Girls on the Rocks. I was like, great, because everybody called me Rocky.
Wow.
So and it was like Pretty Girls on the Rocks. What? I was like, that's it.
Wow.
We don't even need to look no more. They're like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. The next day I went and got a DBA. I hit one of my friends up and told him I needed him to make me a logo. He made me a logo within that week. I already hit you know what I'm saying, my hairdresser up and say, hey, you think I have a launch party there in another month? And she was
Wow.
like, wait, a launch party? Like, you're not playing. Like, I did not play no games. Like, I
Wow.
did all of this in 30 days just to show you you can start a business. If you really truly want to start it, you can start it. You don't have to have a dollar. And it's
Mhm.
not like you had to have anything. Maybe ask somebody, hey, you know what I'm saying? Can you make me a logo? Can you help me with a DBA costs $30? You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It's nothing. Coming up with some ideas, researching is free. You know what I'm saying? Don't let finances or your mindset telling you that you
Telling you what you
can't do
can't
it,
do.
that you can't do it, because you can. You know what I'm saying?
What I love about what you just shared is like the method that you took, far as you had this vision or this thought, you did the work. Again, I think sometimes when people look at entrepreneurs, when they see the outcome or the fruits of your labor, they just like, okay, it just happened.
Right.
But you did the research, and then the other part is you tapped into other people, which sometimes a lot of people don't do, or they feel like, oh, I want to go to this person.
Right. They don't want to tell nobody their business. I don't want to tell nobody. I'm going to keep this secret. How you going to go?
So then you tapped in. So you tapped into other people. Then you did the work, which again is like taking your vision and then turn it into reality. Uh,
Oh, I forgot to tell you a part.
okay, go ahead.
Y'all ready for this one? I don't want no sympathy or nobody feel bad, but let me tell you something that I don't think a lot of people know this. I think I am very transparent on my show, but do you know I started all of that in 30 days, and that was the same month someone broke into my home and tied me and my child up
Get out of here for real.
with a gun. You know what I'm saying? I was literally, I was hurting. I was like really messed up because,
Absolutely.
they didn't beat me, but, choke me, slap me, stuff like that. But now I'm terrified because I don't know who these men were. It wasn't one, it was four.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So, it was a home invasion. So here it is, waking up to someone choking you. You know what I'm saying? And that same month was the month that I
You started a business.
launched my business.
Wow.
And I'm like, somebody else wouldn't have been able to launch a business, wouldn't have been able to do anything. And I'm just saying this to say, not for nobody to feel bad. I'm saying I still did it. Like,
Wow.
I still, until this day, 5 years later, here we are. You know what I'm saying? We still are. Pretty Girls on the Rocks is still a name that people want to know, want to work for, want them to have in their, their wedding or have for a special occasion or something like that. And I did all that during, you know what I'm saying, a hard time.
Wow. So as I was going through your Facebook and your Instagram and everything else, I was when I saw the bartending service, I was like, this is dope. I mean, you got a contract with the Bills, I believe, right?
Yep.
Do you? Because I asked, I know you know Dennis Wilson Jr.
Love 'em.
I asked him, do you feel it is difficult or challenged to thrive in Buffalo as an entrepreneur compared to the larger cities like Atlanta, Miami, things of that nature?
Okay, so it's like 50-50. So I love Buffalo, but I honestly have to say at the end of the day, I think it's so much money here. I think it is so much room for growth here.
Yeah.
So where people want to run places, I want to stay and be a part of our uprising. I want to be a part of the fact that, I don't want to run and leave and go to a bigger city where, let's just be honest, if I go to Atlanta with mobile bartending, they have other mobile bartenders there and other businesses there that I'm up against. Here, I'm not up against a lot of places. And anyways, here it is. It's so much money out there for all of us. We don't have to bump heads. It's room for everybody, you know? So I can't say well, Because honestly, I have to tell you, I never lived anywhere else. I just know that I love it here, and I'm still striving 5 years later. And I know this is not. I'm hoping one day to get a contract with Mercedes Benz and different dealerships where they have us show cars.
Now, let me tell you this. Let me stop you real quick. So I think that was one of the first videos I seen where I was like watching this video, and this woman comes on the video. I was a Mercedes. Now I'm a Mercedes. I have a Mercedes. I love Mercedes. And so that got my eye. I'm like, who is this? Mercedes. Now, I'm going to transition real quick because I think your tagline is pain into purpose. And through all your trials and tribulations and getting to the point where you are in your life, do you think that is your fuel to success because of the pain that you went through? You talked about the home invasion and other things in your life.
Right.
Do you think that gives you your fuel?
Definitely.
Okay.
I tell people this all the time. I know everybody want to be like, you kidding me. You definitely want to take that back. That's not true. I literally thank God for the things that I've been through, because I don't think that I would appreciate my success, or I don't even think I would be where I am if it wasn't for the fact that the bad things that happened to me. I think I appreciate how far I'm moving and how great I'm doing in life because of the fact of all the things that's happened to me in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of us use our pain for pity, when if you use your pain for your purpose to fuel you to say, you know what? If she could do it, I could do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always tell people, like, some people always be like, you on your show and you're telling all your business. And I'd be like, but that was my purpose. God didn't put me through that pain for me to hide it, for me to hold it in and say, don't tell nobody what happened to you when you were 16. Don't tell nobody that when you was trying to build that business that happened. Don't tell nobody you was beaten. Don't tell nobody all these things. No, he put me through those things so I can help others that's been through the same thing. And people who've been through less or worse than me. Because it's not that, oh, man, she's been through this and feel sorry for her. No, it's saying that I could do it. You could do it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody has not been in an abusive relationship. The ones who have, some people give up. No, use that to be like, listen, those scars, them just battle wounds. And I always tell people, God give his biggest wars to his biggest warriors.
Absolutely.
I am a huge warrior, so I have to look at it as if every time something bad happens to me, he just gives me something else to fight with. Maybe I was fighting with before just a helmet. Now he gave me a sword. Next time he going to give me a shield. Next time he going to give me a whole armor. You know what I'm saying? So finally, I'm going to be like, what you got? You know what I'm saying? Because you can't beat me. You know what I'm saying? What's next?
So I want to know, like, how you got the confidence, because it's one thing to go through stuff,
right?
But then, like you kind of noted, is then to actually share it with other people. Where did that, like, when did you figure out like how to share that with other people to get to say, okay, I went through this and now I got to share my, like, basically your testimony.
Being fed up. When you get fed up, I always tell people, listen, you might be tired, but you ain't fed up.
Yeah.
But when you are fed up of being taken advantage of, walked over, talked too crazy, treated bad, stepped over, being second instead of first, you will get tired of that. And you will finally be like, you know what? I'm sorry. Y'all must not know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was second guessing me. And it took me a long time to realize, like, I'm going to be honest with you. I used to look at myself and I used to be like, when I used to get in bad relationships and, you know what I'm saying, even having a horrible, I used to feel like I deserved it. You know what I'm saying? Being in bad relationships and being in relationships when I was in a relationship that I got, like, literally beat until I was I passed out. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Couldn't deal with the pain no more. I just passed out. But I looked at it as, I used to think, like, I deserved that. And now when I look back on it, I'm like, no, I didn't. Like, I ain't deserve that. But you know what? He only did, or whoever does, only what I allowed them to do. But when I finally put my foot down, boy, I tell people all the time, you can't mess with me. It's done. It's hard. It's really, really hard to mess up with a person who has been through so much and know they deserve more. Like, when you really deserve more, I mean, I'm not sitting here saying that I don't hurt, I don't cry, I ain't sad. I'm still human. So I still have my moments, but I don't make them into monuments. Like, it's just a moment. I'm going to have a moment, and that's it. But I can't make it into years, months. You know what I'm saying? A long time. Like I tell everybody, this is our fourth quarter. What we going to do?
What you going to do? I want to ask you, so a lot of the things that you do, so I kind of want to talk about, like, that self-journey, because I see, I do life coaching as well, is a lot of individuals that I work with have not found or discovered themselves.
Correct.
And so when you talked about like, what do I deserve, even with my family, my friends, relationship wise,
Right.
that people accept less because maybe they don't know
They
themselves.
deserve.
And what's the path that you give to other people, or what's the advice you give to other people about finding who they are?
You just got to value yourself more. Like, honestly, that's another thing that I think a lot of us don't realize how great we are.
Yeah.
Like, I think that if you really looked in the mirror and see how dope you was,
Absolutely.
man, you'd be like, I was crying over this little nappy-head little boy. I was crying over this little smart-mouthed girl. What the heck was I doing? Like, I think that was a wake-up call for me.
Yeah.
Like, and literally, I have to tell people something else. I took a break from relationships. I took a break from a lot of outside stuff. Like, everybody was sad about the pandemic. Besides people dying, that was horrible.
Yeah.
But when outside closed, that was my key.
That was my key too.
To sit my butt down, get myself together, even through, my mobile bartending business that we took a halt. But that's what I needed. I needed to shut the outside out so I can learn how to fix me inside. Because I couldn't fix me inside because I was so busy worried about everybody on the outside. I wanted to fix everybody outside. I wanted to be with other people. I wanted to hang with them. I wanted to go on these trips. Well, I needed to sit my butt down and realize, RaQuel, what's going on with you? You're not valuing you. I don't think, honestly, in all the years of my life, I thank God for the pandemic. I literally thank him. It was a time that I literally sat my butt down, and I know that I am a Rolex watch. I know I'm a Lamborghini. I know you don't need no commercials for me. I know that I sell myself. I know I'm dope. I didn't know that before. I thought I was a Timex or a Michael Kors watch where everybody can get one. I didn't realize. I thought I was a Toyota. I don't know what. But now I realize how valuable I am, and it's like, excuse me. You can't get everybody ain't got a Lamborghini. Everybody ain't got a Rolex. Everybody ain't got certain things. So I feel like when it came to me, now I know my worth. And that's what people need to know. They need to look in the mirror and realize it. And I get it. It's not that easy. I don't want nobody to sit here and say, oh, today I said this and now tomorrow you're going to do it. It's going to take some work. But if you can actually take the time out, start looking in the mirror every day and looking at yourself, really looking at yourself with no makeup on. When you know you look ugly with the boogers in your eyes, you know what I'm saying? Even when you cry, and that's another thing I used to tell myself, oh, I look so ugly when I cry. I don't want to cry no more. I'm tired of crying. Like, I want to cry cute. You know what I'm saying? I want to cry cute because I'm laughing about something. Because we laughing, crying, not because I'm hurt and mad, upset. Because I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I look ugly, and I don't want to look at myself like that. I literally want to smile all the time. So just look yourself in the mirror every day and just tell yourself, you are valuable. You worthy. You worth it. Even if you went through, I don't care what that man, that woman, that friend, that coworker, that business partner, whatever they did to you, they don't have to deal with that. Now you got to grow and realize, thank you for hurting me. Every ex that's watching this show, every ex-friend, every ex-business partner, every ex-boss, I thank them because guess what? They thought they broke me, but they only helped me pull myself together. They thought those pieces, and all you did was bring me peace.
Wow. So I want to transition to the motivation moments. So I know you do that. You do a live every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. So how did that start off? When
I just did it to help. I honestly swear to God, y'all, it was not something that I was thinking I was going to do all the time. It was supposed to be like me just helping somebody one day. Because I'm always giving somebody something. Let's just be honest. Anybody out there that's a bartender knows that you are already
you hear the stories. You already hear the stories.
Yeah, we already getting people to come in here and tell me everybody know cheers. You know what I'm saying? That's really our life as bartenders. We're really always in there like, okay, what happened today, Joe? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So one day I was just like, I went and put something up just to help somebody. It wasn't even no morning. It was like a daytime. And then everybody was like, man, this was good. Thank you. I appreciate it. So they started inboxing me. And then another day was like, a lady had hit me and was like, can you do another one? And I was like, I could just do it on Mondays. Motivation on Mondays. And then some people would miss it or watch it and be like, well, what about Tuesday? And I was like, okay, we got to have a regimen now, And then Tuesday I did it. Then I was like, you know what? I love this. At first I was just like, oh, this is cool. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, can I really dedicate this? Then I started praying and asking God, is this something I'm supposed to be doing? I don't know. So then I started doing it. And then I started saying, I like this show, but still never thought about being a motivational speaker. I just want to let y'all know.
Wow.
Even when I did Motivational Moments 2 years ago, because now I started this in 2019, July. So
Wow.
it's been over 2 years that I've been doing the show. But I still was like, you know what I'm saying? I like this. This
Mm.
is cool. But I didn't realize the whole time it was my purpose. It was the
Wow.
whole time God told me to start that show. And then it went from Mondays and Tuesdays to
To five
Monday,
days a
Tuesday,
week.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then I'm like, I love this. And then people started, I already came up with the name Motivational Moments. But then I seen on Facebook it was already a Motivational Moments. Not a show, but they just had like a Motivational Moments.
Yeah.
But it wasn't active. And I'm like, well, dang, if people look me up, they're not going to find me. Now, as soon as you punch in Motivational Moments, I'm like the first one because I'm active all the time.
Yeah.
And then from doing the show, I was like, I would love to be a motivational speaker. This would be amazing. So then I started getting gigs in schools, and people start asking me to speak at women's groups and speak to children and speak to the junior ROTC and troubled teens. And I was like, this is I love this. I'm like, wait a second, hold on, God, was this my purpose? So I started praying, praying, and praying. And then it got to the point that my topics just started getting better and better.
Wow.
And then I'm telling you, like, the doors open. Like, it was just like, man, I started like crying at night, like,
Wow.
but not sad, like crying, like, thank you,
Of
God,
joy,
that
right?
I didn't know that this was your purpose for me all the time. But then you got to think about it. I want everybody out there to realize sometimes the things that you are going through is just the point to get you to where you at. Like,
Wow.
all those things I went through, the rape, the beating, the bad relationships, the having problems with people at work, the me walking out of my job last year, didn't have no plan B, just walked right out. All of that was just to get me to where I'm at. Like,
Wow.
it didn't A had something to do with B and B had something to do with C. It's all part of the
Part
process.
of the process. Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta trust it. You just gotta say, you know what? Like, that's why we talked about today. Sometimes you gotta jump out with no plan, and no plan is a plan. You know what I'm saying? So
Now, what I love about you when I watch your live videos is your authentic. You're very authentic. You reach a crowd that, and I know we talked a little bit about, actually whether you go to church or not. And some people who are watching you may not walk into the doors of the church. Now, when I was watching a few of your videos, I was like, she's taking them to church because, you may not have to say, here, this is a scripture or this, but you're really speaking into people's life and encouraging them in a different way. And what I love about you is your transparency. That there's many of life coaches, there's many motivational speakers, and some are very, very like, okay, buy the script. But what I love how you put your heart on the line for other people, because being transparent is being vulnerable. So
definitely.
you sharing your information, you sharing your experience, and then you open yourself up to criticism, judgment because of that. But it's all for the purpose to helping others.
Yep.
And that's when, like I said, I was watching more videos, and the topics that you put on it comes from it shows it comes from the heart. You can tell something, whether it's something fake or something is real. And what I love about the people, I told you, like, one of my friends was watching you and shared your page. I'm like, he watches this? And I'm like, that's dope, because he would never walk into a church, right? But he can hear something that you're speaking on and get inspired by what you're saying, something that hits home. And so I thought that's really dope. So talk about, you said you went 5 days a week, and being the transparent person that you are, talk about the steps of success and some of the things that come along with that, like some of the challenges that go along with, elevating and being transparent.
Well, definitely one of y'all just don't know. Listen, I know that people watch, even you know what I'm saying? They're watching you and they're seeing your success. They don't realize the things that you got to go through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Success comes with some different things. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I get people, making fake pages, and I get, on top of maybe 100 good comments, I get bad. I get people inboxing me mean stuff, and they even may talk about what I had on, how I look. And then I even get, sometimes I'm out. I watched your little show. You know what I'm saying? It drives me crazy. And I'd be like, Oh, my little show. Okay, well, thanks. I
How's your little
appreciate it.
business doing?
Yeah,
Like,
your little business, see a little show, I see a little speaking, and I'll be like, wow, it's wonderful. And in my mind, but when they're saying those things, instead of me getting nasty or backlashing or saying, listen, nobody say nothing about this, about your little this or little that.
yeah,
Even when I got my new truck, it was amazing that people was like, "Oh, I seen your little truck," and I'm like, "It's $100,000 truck, but all right, my little truck, all right. Well, I'm gonna give it to you." And then one day I had to put somebody in their place though, because I feel like sometimes if you let a person skate, they'll just skate all through it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta let a person know, and not in a nasty way. Hey, you know that when you put little in front of something, you dumb down what a person is doing. And they had to tell me they didn't even mean to do it. They didn't even know they said it. And I was like, really? I didn't even know I said it. I think I must say it all the time to people and didn't even realize I said little. But they respected the fact that I put them in their place because they was like, I probably do this to a lot of people and didn't even notice I do it.
Wow.
So it felt good to literally be like, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Made me feel better. But what I was saying is that I go through ups and downs. I go through, criticism. I even go through, even some of my family, even some of my friends, like, why did you go in there and tell all your business? Like, why did you tell them about what happened to you when you were 16? Why did you tell them about the home invasion? Or why are you telling everybody all your business? Like, it's your business. Keep it to yourself. And I'd be like, but God didn't I didn't go through those things to keep it to myself. Now, yes, I was ashamed in the beginning. I'm not ashamed no more.
Right.
And that's what I have to tell people sometimes. That's the reason why a lot of people are going through the things. That's why a lot of people are in depression, to don't want to go ask for help, for, to go to therapy, because they are too scared and ashamed of what other people are going to think. I don't care what other people think. That's the thing. Because honestly, what you going to say? You going to say, listen, she was raped at 16. Okay. What you gonna say? She was beaten? Okay. What you gonna say? She was in a bad relationship? Okay. You gonna say that she was tied up? Okay. You gonna say she was? What can you say? But you gonna have to say the extra after that though. She's still standing. That's what you're gonna have to say after all those bad things you say about me.
Wow.
That's why I always tell people, listen, never be too scared to tell your story, because it's your story. Nobody can tell your story.
Nobody knows your story more than you.
Nobody.
Now it's funny you talked about we were talking about success, but do you feel, because this is sometimes I go through this, is you don't want to share your success too much because it may intimidate other people. So like, you celebrating your car. Now, one of the things, like when I got a car, the car that I really, really wanted, I had a hesitation about celebrating too loud because it might trigger insecurities in other people. So, and you spoke a little about this on your live this morning about showing what you have, like being proud. Like it's okay to be excited about your success, your journey. Okay, I got 5 years of being an entrepreneur, a business owner, and then somebody is intimidated by that because of where they are in life. So how do you navigate that?
I'm sorry to tell y'all this. Hope I don't lose no followers from this, but what you think of me, it's not my problem. That's your problem. You got to deal with it.
Yeah.
I have been through so much. I'm not sheltering my success. I'm not sheltering my success. I'm not sheltering or hiding. If I get a new car that I've been working my butt off for, if I could have stood on that car with heels on and went and scratched that joint and had a freaking air balloon come across, okay? If I could have had Jay-Z
the Goodyear blimp fly by and stuff.
Yes, if I could have had a music video for it, I would have did it. You know what I'm saying? Because I worked my butt off for it. I'm not I'm not downplaying any success that happened to me to make somebody else feel better, or to make somebody who's small, I'm making them feel smaller because I'm doing good. That's not, call me, hit me up and ask me, how did I do it so you could do it? Because I'm not doing nothing nobody else can do. Nothing. Yeah. I bleed just like you bleed. I cry just like you cry. I go through a lot just like you go through a lot. I just handle it different. So whenever I have a successful moment, just like having my 5-year, I could have just said, we ain't gonna do nothing. No, the mayor came. Yes, I was proud of myself. The mayor don't come for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Made me feel good. And at the end of the day, not only is that, he got his office hitting me up and things like that. It made me feel good that he even got up and talked about how he's seen me come to events and I come and bring all the stuff myself. I didn't pay nobody to do it. I work just as hard, if not harder. And that's what I do. I work harder than my employees, because how do I expect them to work and do something that I'm not willing to do? But with that being said, why am I not going to scream it to the mountaintop? You know, the only thing that I can say, sometimes don't scream it to the mountaintop too soon before it comes out.
Wow,
That's the
yeah.
only time that
Yep.
I would say keep it a secret, because you could yell it too soon and then someone
Then
could
not be done.
sabotage it,
Yep.
or someone could find out you're doing it and find out, and they try to do it faster than you. So that part I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that. Sometimes you got to keep things to yourself. Like, I'm
Yep.
got something in the works right now. I want to scream it to the mountaintop. I want to tell everybody about it because I'm so happy about it, and I just know how great it's about to be. But I know that somebody's gonna try to steal my idea, or somebody's gonna try to sabotage it, or somebody, whatever it may be. But when it's out there, it's out there. You can't take it from me because it's mine. And you know, and I know that big thing, whatever God has for you, you can't take it. But sometimes God may even be like, oh, hold on. We ain't
Hold
ready
on,
for it
hold
just yet. It's gonna get out there. I know you proud. Sometimes we shoot the gun off too soon. We ain't even getting our foot in the spot yet. You know what I'm saying? So that I understand. But then after you get it in there and that gun go off, shoot it.
It's all yours.
Go
It's
as
all
fast
yours.
as you can. Don't ever be where you gotta. I understand some people like, well, I didn't want to make anybody feel. Why do you? That's the problem with us in life. We care so much about
Other
what
people think,
everybody thinks. Social media, your family. Let me tell you something. I don't care. Like, let me tell y'all something. The book that I'm coming out with, it's gonna be a lot of stuff in there, and I'm not gonna be ashamed of it. I mean, I know I'm not ashamed of it now because I do it on the show, but I'm not ashamed. Like, I'm proud of myself and all the things I went through. I didn't go through it for no reason. I went through it so I can go through this pain to finally find what my purpose was. If I didn't go through no pain, I wouldn't know what my purpose is today. And I always tell people, how can you possibly call yourself a motivational speaker and you've never been through nothing to motivate? How can I motivate you and I ain't been through nothing?
That's just, you can't really do it. I mean, you're just faking it till you making it. You're going to buy a script, but, and I agree, you have to live it. And if you haven't ever been through nothing, you can't connect. And I think that's what I see in you, is that you're able through your experiences to connect to people, which makes you more relatable, because, you know, you're not looking at a book and say, okay, hey, I learned about this and I learned about this, but no, I experienced this. I experienced the abuse. I experienced the neglect. I experienced anything else. So let's transition to the circle, because you have to be able to surround yourself with like-minded people, I think, in any kind of success, whether it's your
Right.
personal or business. How do you navigate that, and what other advice would you give to people about finding a circle that's going to help build you, so that way you're not caught up in this negativity mindset?
Be around people who have great energy. Be around people that want to see you succeed. And I think another thing that people need to realize, just because you grew up with somebody don't mean you're supposed to grow old with that person.
That's deep.
And I think a lot of us think that, oh, this might be my friend since we in the 6th grade. But your friend not doing the same thing you doing.
Now,
your
let me ask you this. Let
friend-
me cut you off real quick. How hard is it to cut people off that is not pouring into you? You just said, like, you know, your friend, your day ones. You may realize that this relationship is, they're not giving you, it's not a give and take.
It is hard, but it's harder being empty.
Mm.
It is so hard to cut off people, but it's harder getting cut.
Yeah.
Like, would you rather cut somebody off or get cut? Would you rather be empty and because you keep pouring into everybody, or would you rather some people pour into you? You got to make a decision. Which one do you want to do? And I think so many people, and that's another reason why a lot of people are held back, and it's not you. Sometimes it's the people that's around you. Your surroundings is the reason why you held back. And that's the reason why it bothers me when people always want to talk about Buffalo. Oh, I'm only doing this because if you got that same mindset, it don't matter if you go to Alaska. If you still telling yourself that everybody is the reason why you aren't at level 2, 3, 4, and 5, you still at level 1 because of everybody around me. What about what you doing? Because if you take that mindset to Alaska, to Atlanta, to I don't care where you go, Africa, I don't care. You still got that same mindset. Is nothing's gonna change. You know what I'm saying? If nothing changes, nothing changes. I tell people that all the time. So if I have a great mindset in Buffalo, I can still have that same mindset somewhere else and somewhere else. And how about I just flourish everywhere? How about I have different places? How about I stay here, still have a home here? How about I have a home in Florida and a home in Italy or wherever I want to have? I'm going to flourish wherever because of the fact that I put myself in position to win wherever I go. That's just what it is.
Now, let me ask you about personal responsibility or personal accountability. Now, how do you help someone deal with, because a lot of times I see people kind of like what you said about moving, like I can't thrive in Buffalo, so I got to move to Atlanta. I got to move to Miami, and then find out that it was just me. How do you help somebody to embrace their own like personal accountability?
Well, first you gotta always tell people. First of all, you gotta find out what the problem is, because I can't. You can't hold yourself accountable if you don't think you are the problem.
Wow.
It gotta start from there first. You gotta admit. Hold on. When it comes to relationships, if everybody that you've been with cheated on you, or every relationship you've been with ended, and you're the common denominator, how is we gonna work on that if we can't work on the problem first? I can't help you with them if I can't help you with you first. It gotta start with you. So finally, when you can be admitful that okay, this didn't work in Buffalo. Hold on, it's not working in Atlanta either. Who is the common denominator? Me. I need to find out what am I missing? You know what I'm saying? And even when it came to bad relationships I was in, yeah, they still did what they did. Don't get me wrong. I ain't taking them off they still cheated, they still did it, but they only did what I allowed them to do. So I had to be a bigger person and say, self, who is the common denominator? You. That's why I took that break for a year, because I had to literally look within me. So if people sometimes would just take a break from dating, a break from outside world, a break just to give themselves some accountability and point the finger at them and stop always pointing the finger at everybody else, I'm telling you, your life will be so much better. Like a lot. I'm not saying nothing would be perfect, because nobody's perfect, but it would change a lot, because you can actually say, wait a second. Yeah, that man cheated on me. Yeah, that woman cheated on me. Yeah, that job didn't appreciate me. Yeah, this, but I didn't appreciate me. I didn't respect me. I tell people all the time, I am not mad at my exes. I'm not mad at ex-friends, ex-workers, whoever it is, because I didn't appreciate me. So when I started taking accountability and saying, it's not always your fault. It was my fault too. You know what I'm saying? You had a lot to play, but I played a role as well. And I finally said that to myself. I'm telling you, so that monkey on my back that was so heavy that it was just weighing me down, it felt like a weight. When I finally looked in the mirror and said, RaQuel, you gotta fix you now. It's time for you to fix you. I can't even be a motivational speaker if I can't motivate my own self. Because I have my own bad days. If I can't get myself out of bed, how am I gonna help y'all? You know what I'm saying? How can I help y'all get through these bad days if I can't get through none of them myself? So it took me a minute to get there. That's why I tell people, I'm not sitting here and saying people can do this in one day. It can't. It's gonna take some work. But you got it if you could just look in the mirror and tell yourself, I am part of the problem, and fix it. And we can start from there. You can honestly admit it. It's just like when you're going through pain, so many people want to admit, but he did this, but he did that. It's like a kid. You ever see the kids in the house and they arguing?
You're blaming everybody else.
And you be like, but how did he do that if you didn't? But I don't care, but he did. But how did I get to this point if he didn't? Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a kid. We just grown-ups, but we still got that kid mentality when we can point the finger at everybody and blame nothing on ourselves. But when you can honestly grow up and say, okay, I have fault in this. You know what I'm saying? It's my fault. Own it. Yeah. Ownership is so big. And that's the thing. We want to own everything else, but we don't want to own our problems. Oh, that's my car right there. I got that car. Y'all see that big old house? That's my house. But them problems over there, he did that.
That ain't mine.
She did that. I don't know who did that.
It's kind of like that whole thing, I know on social media with the red flags, and everybody's said these are the red flags to avoid. But, we often don't look at our own red flags, and we, like you said, a personal accountability. Who inspires RaQuel?
Ooh. As far as like, okay, let me ask this.
Your motivation, your inspiration, like who do you kind of like tap into? Like, okay, I need to hear, this person speak, or this person give me like some kind of.
Every day almost I listen to, I know people will be like, you really listen? I love Eric Thomas.
Eric Thomas, yeah, he's good.
I know that everybody know him, but he is the number one motivational speaker as far as even getting paid and even the world. But I love his rawness. Like, he ain't dressing up. He said, I don't gotta dress up. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not paying to hear how I look. Y'all paying to hear the words that come out my mouth. And what comes out of his mouth is amazing. And his struggles. I always tell people, I don't want to hear a motivational speaker that ain't been through nothing. Like, I want to hear somebody that you can feel the pain. Yeah. It's like days when people watch motivational moments with me. It's days that like the other day. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, I'm a crybaby. But I try so hard to be strong. But last week, I cried a couple tears. I had to stop myself like, oh, my God, wait a second, y'all. Hold on. Let me just bust these. Because it's still real. Like, I think still
people
human.
Need this. I think people need to see that because, like you said, no matter your growth and your success, you still are human. You still go through trials and tribulations. And I think that's what's dope about you, is that you're not afraid to show that, because I even learned through my journey is that sometimes when you put on the face and the filter all the time, and then people don't feel like, okay, you're touchable. And I feel like through your videos, when you're motivating other people, you're sharing your trials and tribulations, people can touch. I see that. I see myself in your journey, which I think is really, really dope on how you share your story and your daily walk. Because if you're doing this 5 days a week, there's gonna be days where you're just not feeling it. But I watch one of your videos, is like, you share that you had to do this video for other people, and even if you're not feeling it, I'm gonna do this for other people, and you gotta see me where I'm at.
Yep. I mean, because, like, let's just be honest. Like, even when
Mm-hmm.
let's just be truthful here. Like, guys, even though you had this appointment for me today,
Mm-hmm.
what if something just happened an hour before I was coming here?
Yeah.
You still got to push through, because this is what you signed up for. This is the journey to God. This is something God gave you. This talent He gave you to be a life. It's days that when you have your life coaching, somebody calls you. They already got this appointment. They're going through it. They've been waiting all week for that appointment. But now you just got some bad news. You got to brush all that off, because this is part of your job.
Yep.
And you got to put that to the side. That's why I always tell people about workers when I go places and they're having a bad day. I know people be like, okay, she always got her motivational spirit hat on. But I be places and I be like, baby, I will literally get to a McDonald's drive-thru, okay? And somebody be like, here. And I be like, you're having a bad day, ain't you? They be like, what? I be like, listen, I'm not even trying to stay with you. I'm just telling you, take a breather. Whatever happened before I got here or before you got to this work, don't even let them see you sweat. It be days that people be like, yo, thank you. I needed that. Somebody just needed that. They didn't need you to get nasty back with them. They didn't need you to turn up with them because they got a nasty day having a day. You don't know what just happened. But saying that to say is, it's days that I get up and I be like, I'm just not feeling this today. I had a rough day. Maybe, it's been times that I woke up to a me inbox that it didn't even make no sense. But I was like, dang, I told you I'm a little sensitive.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, dang, I had 100 nice ones and I got this nasty, mean one. Like, one man was on there one day, y'all. I swear to goodness, he told me that the way I sit in the chair, I need to switch my chair and straddle it. And he was just going in. And I'm like, what? And, I can't listen to you unless you do that. And I need you to touch your cheek. And I need you to just going in and making me feel like, oh, should I do this anymore? You looking at me like that? Like, wow. Like, and it's just days that I have, or I wake up and maybe I just wasn't feeling it. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll be like, no, what are you doing? I get in that shower and I'll be like, you better shake this off. This ain't for this. People depend on you. You know what I'm saying? And I know that God didn't give me this gift for nothing. So I'll be like, you got to fix this, because God is ready to catapult you. And He don't want to hear that you ain't feel like getting up to your living room. Because if you ain't going to get up to your living room, what happens when I put you on tour?
The big stages, yeah.
What's going to happen when you with Eric Thomas? You know what I'm saying? He's somebody you look up to, but what happens when that? Is you going to be able to be, are you going to be the person that he going to be like, today, Eric, I'm not feeling it today. He going to be like, what? I got 1,000 people that's going to be right here in this one small room, and that's small for me, and you don't feel like it today? God want to know that He can give you a gift for you just to throw it away. So I have to show up and show out every Monday through Friday. And don't get me wrong, y'all, I'm not on there faking. When that button starts and my phone is right there, I be like, it ain't even that. It's showtime. It's time for me to start. That everything that was going on 30 seconds before I press that button, I ain't even think about it.
Yeah.
I be feeling so fulfilled and feel so great, and nobody's even there with me. Like, you have it great because you have somebody sitting right here. I'm literally talking to a phone that I feel amazing, that people are really there putting their comments. They're all excited. I forgot why I was even feeling the way I was feeling before I even got up this morning. And maybe I was having a rough day, or maybe I was having a problem with a relationship or a friendship or a business. Maybe it didn't go the way I wanted it. But after I start and I do what I'm supposed to do every day, it makes me feel so amazing. Like, it makes me feel great. And I thank God every day for this wonderful gift.
Because it's kind of like each and every day, you have the opportunity to fulfill your purpose. It's kind of like you set this. I mean, nobody's holding you accountable to say, okay, I got to do a 9 o'clock live. But you put this on your calendar every day, and fulfilling it must be, like you kind of said, you're pouring into your purpose, and then walking away from that life and say, God, you basically allowed me to do this, and I completed it, I accomplished it.
Right.
That's gotta be a
It's
dope
really
feeling.
fulfilling. And then I always tell people that even when I do my lives, I tell people all the time, do you know how, let me use the word, do you know how much, I'm trying to think of the word, y'all. How I have to have a lot of, you know what I'm saying, a lot of strength and a lot of, no one's telling me to get up. Like, I don't have a boss. I don't have nothing. A lot of y'all people don't want to go to work. And they 9-to-5 jobs, but they know they have somebody accountable. I have nobody holding me accountable. So if I be like, today I don't want to do it, I don't got to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's no big deal. But I be like, do you know how hard that is, though? Not having accountability, just doing it because I truly want to do it Monday through Friday and not getting paid for it. Yeah. Like I tell people, I'm just now starting the sponsorships, where now I'm going to get to the point where how at the bottom of the screen it's going to have sponsored by, so people can help other. But it's not really so much for me. It's I really want to help other people sell their products or do things like that, where I can help them. Where now you tell me to wear your shirt, or I don't care if it's an eyelash or your hair or whatever it is. Now I can help you. But in the process of helping you, I can put a couple dollars in my pocket where God is like, listen, I know I don't expect you to do all this for free because you could get another job. You know what I'm saying? And God don't want to give you a purpose and feel like you got to quit it because you can't pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? So I pray about that all the time. Like, God, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with doing this, but, I always say I keeps it real with them. Listen, National Fuel ain't trying to hear that I got to fulfill my purpose in motivational speaking.
No, they want that money.
They want that money. So I always say, God, what is it that you want me to do? Maybe you're going to have me doing this for free and other things going to come in, but something got to give. But the point I'm making, it takes a lot of strength to get up every single day and do something for free.
And you do it well. And I think that leads me to my other question, as far as where does RaQuel see herself in 3 years?
Shucks, y'all, he said 3 years. He should have said January.
January, okay. Speak that thing.
3 years. Woof. No, January. Where do I see myself in January, y'all? You see, he said, I see myself touring all over the world. You don't understand how exciting. I can't wait for you to look back at this. And this is only October.
So you're saying January, so you're speaking into existence. So
yes.
Now, when you say stage, like, give me some vision of it. Because you're a visionary too. So
yes, I am. I see myself on big stages. I see myself all over the world. I see myself touring with other, motivational speakers. I see myself having my own, you know what I'm saying? Like, your show is Empowerment716. And it's crazy because I see myself having a tour called Empowerment. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So I see myself all over the world with having tours called Pain to Purpose. I see myself just, having my own summit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Where I can have other motivational speakers, but I'm the headliner, Yeah. I see myself just going all over. I see people that watch me on my show that never even met me buying tickets where they get to walk up to me and be like, and I remember their name, but I don't know how they look. And they're like, hey, it's me. You know what I'm saying? I'm Tiffany716. And I'll be like, oh, hey, girl, like, you be on there all the time. Thank you for even coming. I see people traveling all over to watch me that they so proud that they actually get to meet the person, that they took the time out of every Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock. And I always tell people, it be people in my inbox telling me, I am so sorry I missed your show today, but I went back and watched it. And I'll be like, wow. You didn't have to. Like, I appreciate it, but no, I just want to let you know. I know I wasn't there today. And I'll be like, yeah, your name was missed because I was expecting you to be on there, but you didn't have to. Like, you know what I'm saying? People could be watching anybody, They could be watching Eric Thomas instead of me. You know what I'm saying? They could be watching Les Brown and, you know what I'm saying, and T.D. Jakes, or if they're not into the church and they just want to listen to motivation, they can listen to whoever they want to listen to, but they took the time out to listen to me. And that's why I appreciate it. That's why I don't take it for granted. That's why I get up Monday through Friday. The only time I can't do the show is I'm sick or I'm on a plane. I always tell people I can't change that. If my plane don't get off in time, then fine. But if I'm sick, of course I can't do it in bed. But other than that, hardly in 2 years have I ever. Like, I missed last year I had COVID. So I missed it for like almost a month because I was really, really, really sick. So I was in and out the hospital. So I couldn't really do it. But I felt so like unaccomplished. I felt horrible. Like, I couldn't, like, if on top of being sick, I felt bad. Like, I wasn't doing the show. Like, oh my God, you gotta get me better. I can't keep, like, I felt like people are missing out and they needed me during COVID and I couldn't be there to help them. And here I am fighting for my own body and soul and trying to get
Trying to
better,
get
but I
help
felt
in.
bad about other people helping them. So that's why I knew then, I was like, oh, this is really my calling.
This is your calling. You feel it. So the other question, and we're almost, can't believe we're almost out of time, but
Oh wow.
I want to talk a little bit about some of the things I observed looking at your social media. I found it interesting that one is not through just your motivation, but your networking skills of sharing other people's products, services. I mean, I was going through your pictures. And I'm like, she knows everybody, and I think that's again that's a fuel to success as well, because I think a lot of people, I just got this and it's just about me. But you also have to motivate it. I mean, you just can't talk motivation. You have to be the motivation, and sharing other people's information, sharing, if there's a connection or collaboration we can do. I mean, you do that with a lot of individuals. I want to talk a little bit before we close up about balance. Now, with your many businesses, from the real estate, from the life insurance, from bartending services to motivation, how do you balance life and all the things that you're doing?
Well, first, I ain't gonna lie, it ain't easy. Because on top of balancing all that, I still have to balance. I have to have some sanity for myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I do have to give my own self some time. And I'll be
Yeah.
honest with y'all, I love football. So
You're a Bills fan. They're playing
I
tonight.
am a Bills fan, so I can't wait. But I like football. Like, I love football. I love sports. So I have to give myself some time. And sometimes I'm sitting here like, oh my God. Like, if a whole day is gone, I have to do other work. But you definitely have to have balance. You know what I'm saying? You know what they say, all work and no play.
Yeah.
I forgot what's the rest.
All work, no play, or work. I
I
forgot
was
how
gonna
to
say
say
it.
it.
So
Yeah.
I think isn't it like all work and no play makes a person be dull every
forgot the
day?
saying,
I don't
yeah.
know what it is. Y'all just made that up. The point I'm making is that
I'll still rolling with you though.
we gonna act like that's what it was supposed to say. All work and
Making
no
your
play
own,
make a
that's-
person dull every day. You heard that? I don't even know.
Original.
What
You heard it here first.
Yeah, I heard it here
Original.
first. But you actually have to have some kind of balance in life. Like, even if it's your relationships
Yeah.
or in your business. So I do have a lot. Like, some days I'll be like, okay, I'm not doing that today. You know
Okay,
what I'm
actually, let me
saying?
stop you for a second. So I'm gonna get real personal. Not too personal, but balance business then relationship. Now, I found that very hard to do, because as an entrepreneur, you 24 hours, 7 days a week. You're always thinking
24.
about the next thing.
Right.
So how do you now give into, you have a son. You said you got two sons now in the house, in a relationship. How do you balance that and then give time to yourself? Because now that other people need you in the relationship, your personal relationship, the family needs, and everything else.
Right. So RaQuel gets the short end of the stick. So
Yeah.
first of all, I get the short. I don't mind it though. Like,
Yeah.
I actually get enjoyment helping others.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with not having really time for myself. Like, it doesn't really bother me.
Mhm.
I'm big on family. I love people
Yeah.
being together. Like, I love cooking dinner. Like, it gives me joy. Yesterday was Sunday. I made a big old breakfast. My
I seen
mom
one of
came over.
your dinners, and I think, and you was like, "Yep, it's on the paper plate," and I was like, "That's dope."
Yep. I let people know. Listen, I am human. I am not putting up.
Exactly.
I'm cooking too much. Like, yesterday, my mom came over. Because of the fact I don't have balance, she does come over and clean. You know what I'm saying? I do pay her, but she does not want me to get a maid.
Cleaning service.
So,
I
yeah,
see
she
this.
told me I cannot, because she's like, why would you do that? And you can pay me. I was like, that's fine. I'd rather put money
That's
in your
dope,
pocket
yep.
anyways. So she came over and cleaned. I made
See,
a
I thought I was
breakfast.
bougie for doing that, because it's like
No.
I got so much stuff going on. I was like, I need some.
At
cleaning
least you
service
cleaning up
once a month.
instead
Yeah.
of sitting there and letting it clutter.
Yeah.
I can't. The clothes was piling up. I was like, oh God, I can't do this. And then I have all these mirrors all over my house. I feel like I'm touching it all the time. I was like, this can't. Something got to give. So she
Yeah.
came over. But, I love cooking. So it gave me joy, like, to have everybody in the house. And we sitting there watching football all day. Even though the Bills wasn't on, I
Yeah.
still am, like I told you, I love football. So we watch football all day. To me, even though that wasn't time by myself, it was time. My son was there. My son's
Yeah.
friend was there. My mom was there. My man was there. Like, all day. Like, we're there all day. So to me, that was my time. You know
therapy,
what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah.
Still was, you still can balance the two. And I didn't do business yesterday. Like, I actually told myself, okay, it's Sunday, y'all. I mean, if somebody would have called, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
that's my problem. I don't know when to tell somebody, like, hey, can I get with you tomorrow? But if somebody would have inboxed me and was going through it, I probably would have told them to go onto my link and, pay a consultation fee, and then and set up a time. And if they would have
Love
had
it.
to been yesterday, I would have had to go upstairs, close the door, and I would have gave them that privacy for 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I still would balance it. It just matters how important it. I'm not saying no one's important, but if it was something they couldn't wait till Monday, then I would have done it. You know what I'm saying? But I still do get balance in. So
I
that's what I was
love
gonna
it.
say. I still get it. I don't get a lot of time to myself, but I'm not a big. Some people have to get some time for behind
Yeah.
themselves. Mm, I think that I'm not one of those people. I love being around
Well, you
people.
carry, you definitely carry it well. I mean, like I said, knowing that you're still human, but you like I said, when I was going through the list of things you done, I'm like, how the heck does she do all of this? But I think it's dope that you do it. I'm gonna as we close out, I want you to tell people where they can find you. But then I'm gonna say, as we do in church, is the benediction. I'm gonna have you close out whatever is on your heart, as far as speaking to individuals that may be watching, that says, I need something uplifting to hit me.
Right.
So I'm gonna have you close, give us the benediction, as they say in church. But tell us where we can
Okay.
find you, where people can find more about you.
Okay, so everybody who's been watching, my name is RaQuel, Ms.Motivation. You can find me on Facebook Live. It is called Motivational. I said Facebook Live. It's Facebook. It is Motivational Moments. If you pull it up, you will see my wonderful self. In the picture, I am the first Motivational Moments on there on Facebook.
Yeah.
So please follow me. Watch the show. It is Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you do not have social media, even though right now you may be watching from somebody else's page, I do have a website. It is called motivationalmoments716.com. You can go on there where there is videos at. If you have, Instagram, I am on there. It is RaQuel, RaQuel _ motivates. You can find me on Instagram. So I am there everywhere you want to go. So if you don't want to, and then on my website, motivationalmoments716.com, you can put your email, where I will be starting as of November 1st. I will be sending you out motivational things. So you can get it
Nice.
to your email. And whenever I'm having anything, or if we're having summits, or we're having women empowerments, men empowerments, children empowerments, and you want to be in the loop, you just put your email address in there, and we will be starting that November 1st. And I also will be starting a networking program where I'm going to be helping people sell their products. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? I'm going to use my connections to know everybody to help other people sell their products.
That's
And it doesn't
dope.
have to be just in Buffalo, just let you guys know. Like, if you have a product and somebody want to buy it, they can buy it from a different state, a different country. People on my show are in Kenya. Like, a lady watches it every day from Kenya. Another lady watches it from LA. Like, so you can get different connections. You never know what a person needs that you may have. So I'm going to end this by saying, do not, whatever you do and whatever you're going through right now, you cannot give up. Giving up cannot be a choice. It cannot be an option. It can't even be in your mouth. You have to tell yourself today, whatever you are trying to do, wherever you are trying to strive to be, you can do it. It is the fourth quarter, y'all. And listen, somebody been counting you out the first, the second, and the third quarter. And guess what? It is the fourth quarter. It's time for them to tell you you've been down long enough. And you go in this quarter with a bang so you can begin your January with a boom. We got this. You know what I'm saying? Let people know that I am not going to give up regardless of whatever anybody told you, whatever pain you going through. Use that. Fuel that. You
Fuel it.
got this. It is time for you to say all that hurt and pain, push it in back of you, and tell yourself, guess what? They only helped you become stronger. They didn't know that you can handle it. So now you know that you already been through all that and you can handle it. It's your time to win. It's fourth quarter, y'all, and it's time for us to win. We got this.
Wow. I'm gonna say you just dope all around. I mean, I
Thank
really
you so
appreciate
much.
your energy. I love your spirit and all the things that you're doing. I mean, I don't know too many people who don't know who RaQuel Hall is, and I know I just want to give you this words of encouragement, because I know that you pour into so many people in Buffalo and beyond, and what you're doing this with the social media, your innovation, and your drive. I just want to encourage you just to keep doing what you're doing. I mean, you're making a tremendous difference, I mean, you know it, but I just want to give you those words of encouragement to keep doing it because, again, you got so many people who are watching you, who are encouraged by your trueness and your stories. And I know you got a lot of things coming in the works, and I just appreciate what you do. I'm glad I had the opportunity because, again, I think I seen you in August, and I was leaving. I think it was Rob Cornelius' event at McCarthy Park, and I was driving off, and I was like, "Oh shoot, that's RaQuel."
I got bit by a bee, y'all, twice.
It was a lot of bees that day.
In my butt, y'all, in my arm. Can you believe that?
But I was like, I'm glad I had the opportunity, which is part of the reason why I wanted to do this show was I wanted to bring people that I didn't have a chance to meet face to face and to learn more and get some insight about who they are and their drive. Because a lot of times we, as other entrepreneurs and business owners, you need other people around you to encourage and say, wow, you need to hear that on what other people are going through and their challenges is also how they're overcoming those challenges. And so I appreciate and respect what you're doing. Continue to do what you're doing. Thank you for taking your time out your busy schedule to come on and share with the world of what you're doing and how you can continue to make a difference. And so I am going to be buying tickets when you get on the stage.
Yes.
And I'm going to make sure I try to get front row seat. I know
Front
the tickets
row.
might.
Got you. Don't even worry about it, Rob. I got you.
You got me?
I got you. Don't even worry about it. Just, when I put it out there, make sure you remind me because I will forget.
Yeah, I'm
You'll be
like, remember
hey,
me? Remember you was on my little my little show.
No, this ain't no little show. Because by the time I'm on there, you're gonna be like, hey, you coming back on my show because we in a studio now.
Exactly.
So that's what it is. So I'm not even worried about it. I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm about to be on his show.
I'm gonna come on your
next
show.
week.
How can I get on your show? How you can get on my show? That's how we gotta do it. Collaborate. So I appreciate you.
I thank you so much for having me. This is a wonderful show. I know that you always you told me about me, but I just want to tell you, I love this. I love what you're doing. This is amazing. You have some amazing people being on your show. This is wonderful. And you don't stop doing what you're doing because this is great. People need to continue to be empowered because everybody, they don't have them people around them. So sometimes they need to be empowered by people they don't even know. So I think this is amazing. The name of the show is amazing. You are dope. So I just want to say I appreciate you. And I was so excited when you picked me to be on your show. I was like, yay. I was so excited. I didn't even know you. And I was like, I'm excited to get on this show. I was like, wonderful. So I'm excited and I love this whole thing. So thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, you heard it. So, thank you for locking in with Empower716. Next week we have Lysandra Butler joining us to talk about financials. So till next week, peace.
Did you know that Empower716 Talk Show is looking to promote and recognize young entrepreneurs in Western New York? You could recommend yourself or someone else to be acknowledged on a future episode. Nominees need to be age 21 or under, has a service or product that offers value, has taken steps to become an entrepreneur, and must be willing to come on the show and talk about their service or product if selected. Email us at empower716@gmail.com.